He has been called the best gamer in the world, hands down. He's raised more than $15 million. He works very closely with Save the Children.
Today, Athene got his YouTube channel banned. Everybody in the comments of every section is going in there saying that Athene scammed charity money, Athene is running a cult, etc.
Athene will do anything to get popularity or to fake having popularity. He's scammed people with fucking crypto. He's made some weird fucking cult shit. He's released some crazy ass fucking bullshit YouTube videos. Do you think it's like been worse recently?
I don't know why Athene's so hated.
He literally brainwashes people.
Athene was also banned from Twitch.
What he did was the most scumbaggish piece of shit thing you could ever do.
Maybe it's because he used to be a huge troll and he actually pissed off a lot of people.
Due to the fact that he said insane shit and is also trying to basically scam people, there has been some backlash from the community.
I don't believe in any of the numbers that he's giving. It's not possible that he could raise that much money.
And then I don't know if like when he does shit for charity, if how much of it is actually for charity and how much of it goes into the pocket, you know?
This is the face of a successful cult leader running a very successful scam.
Like, it's a fucking cult, worse than the Forsen Boys.
Nothing's good ever come from strange fringe cult movements led by charismatic and ambitious cult leaders in Germany.
Sie wollte eine wahrhaftige Weltanschauungspartei sein.
I don't know, like, really if all of that stuff, I don't think that he scammed charity money. But people think that, and the reason they think that is because other people have made videos and they've talked about that stuff, and they've made this guy look like a jackass more than he already is.
By far, I was the most intelligent person on the planet. More intelligent than Einstein, than anyone on the planet.
Well, he literally thinks he's like the smartest person in the world. He actually thinks that. He literally thinks that he's this generation's Einstein.
But that's because you play the act that you have to play. Actually, he's really not that bad.
You can't say that because now they will think that I'm maybe brainwashing you.
I almost think he like might be mentally ill. Okay. Like in a really scary, like self-deluded sense.
One could definitely argue that it is partially Athene's own fault, that it has, for many, often been unclear when he is in character.
I am the one. I'm not a nutcase, I'm one. You got that?
And when he's being serious. Sometimes he deliberately aims for this, to create controversy and draw more attention to his activism and charity endeavors. What was, however, not deliberate or intended was the escalation of extreme accusations against him, leading to the ban of his YouTube and Twitch channels. While all these claims are actually easy to verify as being false, or at the very least be shown to lack evidence, many companies that operate in the current social media climate adapt to negativity by removing the content, or firing or deplatforming who or what may make them lose potential advertisers.
We were live streaming, and right as we were getting into it, YouTube, in their infinite wisdom, removed our live stream and gave us a strike. When you get a strike, you can't live stream anymore.
It also means that anyone who knows how to create a well-directed shitstorm on the internet has a lot of power. Just convince a certain platform that a certain individual is trouble for them, and you might be able to get them banned or fired.
James Gunn was just fired after offensive tweets dating from 2008.
Athene is no more a fraud or cult leader than PewDiePie is a Nazi, or this man was responsible for the Boston bombing.
On Reddit, there was a lot of speculation about certain suspects who turned out not to be suspects.
Well, they were swearing and saying, Reddit screwed up. You can't be talking like this.
But Athene's deliberate blurring of the line between reality and fiction has made him a very suitable target in a climate where exposing popular personalities gets the most clicks, likes, and upvotes, especially in gaming communities with a strong tendency towards tabloid-like sensationalism, such as Reddit's livestream fail.
My whole opinion on livestream fails, I'm literally scared to even give that, because I'm scared I'll get hate for it. That's my opinion. It's fucking brutal. I was just scared to check it. I was just scared to open it. I was like, I don't know what's gonna be there. That's how I get every time I turn my stream off. Like, who knows? If I checked right now, is there a hate thread about me? Am I getting hate? But it's like, if I said or did something bad, it's like, I've always known he was a scumbag. I'm unsubbing from this loser. I'm never watching him again. I suggest all of you do the same, and it's always the top voted comment. And, you know, someone will comment like, well, hey guys, you know, it wasn't that bad. It was just whatever. Downvoted. Down. Get out of here. That doesn't fit our agenda. You fucking idiot. That's not what this is for.
This is why the old Athene persona had to die.
Because you guys try to do character assassination. I'm gonna have my lawyer talk to you guys because maybe you guys don't think that I'm too credible.
Before making a name for himself in gaming, Athene was a political activist in Belgium as early as from the age of 16, and in 2000 became one of the youngest close elected of the Green Party. A year later, he managed to become part of Belgium's Big Brother TV show, and used this as a platform to raise awareness around racism, which also led to a TV talk show confrontation with the country's most notorious right-wing nationalist. In 2005, he co-founded a political protest party by name of NEE. Despite not having any budget or resources to speak of, our extreme dedication and work ethic landed us tons of media attention. While seemingly physically almost impossible, Athene and Ian personally visited every single house and apartment block in all of Antwerp. Inspired by how far we were able to take things nationally, we wanted to go global. YouTube had only just become a thing, and Athene was determined to find a way for us to establish a massive global audience on it.
I had a genius plan. World of Warcraft, most popular game, 9 million people play it. I just played the game, 5v5.
He was always exceptionally good at video games and was one of the most feared players of Ultima Online, the first MMO of its size and kind. So he got the idea to capitalize on what was becoming insanely popular at the time.
Warcraft.
And so the idea for the Athene YouTube series was born.
Hi everyone, this is Athene, best paladin of the server, battle group, but also the world.
Videos featuring an extravagant, bizarre caricature of a gamer who sort of became the Borat of World of Warcraft, and while clever viewers would be aware that it was all a show, his in-game rankings and achievements were verifiably real.
Today we're featuring a fella from Belgium who thinks he's the finest paladin in all the world. Belgian Shirinbu Maza is a 28-year-old internet star known to millions on YouTube and to international MMO gamers as Athene. He plays World of Warcraft religiously, even breaking the world record for speed power leveling of a character to level 60 from 4 days to just 1.
The internet is going nuts about me.
More episodes were released introducing his shirtless friend Furious and a gorgeous and apparently mute girlfriend known only as My Bitch.
People from international, they come to me. Look, the paparazzi. Shoot them. You see the paparazzi, they just come. They saw the clip on the internet. They saw my bitch. You shooting? Game is gonna start in 1 minute.
For a long time, the Athene Wins YouTube channel was in the top 3 most subscribed worldwide. And we were the first popular YouTubers to focus on gaming.
Learn to play the game.
In those first few years, there was literally no money to be made. Live streaming and donation platforms didn't exist yet, and YouTube did not have an international partner program either.
You don't have to pay. You don't have to send me gold in mail for those tips. I just give them for free.
While we continued to push the limits with the Athene series, even going as far to make a full-length feature film and much later a Belgian television series around the character, the first glimpses that our audience got into the real intentions behind it all was through our net neutrality activism. Something we were heavily focused on even before the Athene series. While nowadays, fortunately, a lot of websites and communities are focused on fighting dangerous new internet legislations, back then we were pretty much alone in this. Which, grand as it may sound, sometimes made us feel like the future of the internet somewhat depended on us. Especially as we personally often successfully lobbied to raise awareness among members of parliament and significantly impacted the outcome of votes on laws in both the EU and US. We had also started a weekly series called iPower, discussion videos on important topics that we wanted to raise awareness about. But even as we became more and more known as really being activists, not everyone liked how we were sometimes gaming the system.
Athene fans are trying to tell me he cares about people.
He is getting fucking views for this type of shit.
And the reason he puts misleading titles and his half-naked bitch in the middle of his videos is so that he can help more people.
Fuck you, man. You're not that cool.
He is not trying to help anyone.
I'll kick your fucking ass. God fucking damn it.
In 2009, we went through a lot of transitions as we were trying to figure out how to fund what we were doing and depend less on our parents. Athene began to dedicate his game-breaking mindset fully to online poker, confident that he could dominate it just as much as he did with online games. Turned out he was right, and literally managed to turn $5 into $300,000 in less than 1 year, which became our main source of funding for years to come. We even did a range of Athene videos that focused on his poker career.
Come on, give me some hands. Give me some hands so I can own it up here. I got a hand, I bet. I didn't hit it, I bluff. You wanna go to the river? Go to the river. You wanna call me down? Shipping the dough. That's how I roll. I'm 24 table and owning it up. I made my own program, better than that Table Ninja crap. I made my own Table Ninja. You gonna bluff me out of the fuck? Oh, little bitch, trying to bluff me out? Oh, are you trying to look what he's trying to do? Trying to bet against me? Shut, bitch. King against him. I get, oh, boom, bringing the dough.
The team evolved to mostly being just Athene and myself, as Ian and my brother Dean, aka Furious, parted ways. And we spent a very long time working on a documentary that we thought could inspire many others into a more activism-oriented lifestyle. All of this somewhat scattered and confused our fanbase, which was still deeply rooted in gaming and more particularly World of Warcraft. So as we had disappeared from the top YouTubers landscape, we decided it was time for a comeback. Many people go viral because they're lucky, or because they're already connected with other popular phenomena in some way. Most of the time, in everything we did, we had neither the luck nor the connections, and a lot more trial and failure was involved than most people are aware of. But we did have the absolutely insane work ethic that we had built up years before as idealistic political activists.
He's embarked on a very ambitious project. He's helping us all, together to the top, right?
Getting other YouTubers to list you in their recommended box on their own channel was a popular strategy at the time. So naturally, Athene had to break that game as well.
Hi, Aaron in real life. France 619. He killed 93. I owe you big time.
He's very dedicated to what he does.
I do every single personal video.
He embarked on a journey of making a private personal video for each and every person who would list him on their channel, even if you're not really a YouTuber and you didn't have any videos. Instead of spending an inhuman amount of hours every day playing poker, he now spent them in front of our camera, personally thanking and inspiring thousands of people, one by one. Many of which ended up uploading their personal Athene video on their own channel. As our channel once again skyrocketed in popularity, we focused hard on lifting up small YouTubers who were doing great stuff, but just not getting a lot of views.
At the moment, he's promoting my videos on his channel. I just want to show my appreciation because he's helped me out enormously. I just gotta thank the man,
In one of the videos we made about this, Athene uttered the phrase, "together to the top."
That's how we go together to the top. I don't go alone to the top. I do it together. We're a fucking team.
This became a sort of mantra for a lot of YouTubers at the time, and it gave a big push to some who are nowadays among the biggest stars on the platform, and who still sometimes mention they'll never forget how Athene helped them grow.
Get to the top!
For many people, when they talk about old school Athene, they actually refer to this era of Athene videos, rather than the real early days, because from 2010 to 2012, these were the days of all our crazy travel videos, where we, for example, did E3, DreamHack, BlizzCon, and Gamescom, and it was also the Athene era of great collaborations, such as those with the Yogscast, Mia Rose, and the legendary videos with Swifty. There was so much more that we did in these years that it is challenging to summarize this time period. there were Athene's StarCraft stunts, the $500,000 product sponsorship with Razer, which all went to insane community giveaways.
I'm gonna hook you up!
And further internet activism in the form of an all-out assault on the SOPA and PIPA legislations, where rather than having people post hashtags, we took a more effective approach. And we heard back from senators saying our efforts to have people personally contact them really made a difference. We also took Together to the Top far beyond just promoting great smaller YouTubers. We worked hard to lobby behind the scenes to try to fix the broken YouTube partner landscape, because countless YouTubers were getting tricked into rotten deals with networks such as Machinima that would hold exclusive rights to their channel in perpetuity. We eventually consulted for Curse, which is now part of Twitch. Free of charge, we helped them set up the terms for what we advised them to call Union for Gamers, a new YouTube partner network that was the first to offer high CPMs without strings attached. Back then, YouTube partners were locked in with their network, legally and often even technically unable to leave when they wanted. We changed this with Union for Gamers. And as if all of this isn't enough of a showcase of our over-the-top dedication, we were only just getting started. Because in 2012, we launched Operation Sharecraft. We realized that making videos about leading a more proactive lifestyle can only go so far in terms of inspiring people. And since actions speak louder than words, Athene came up with the most ambitious idea we had considered in years: to livestream for 100 days straight and attempt to fundraise $1 million for the most effective charity program we could find. All donations would go directly to these specific Save the Children programs, because when it comes to charity, we agreed we should never receive any benefits from it ourselves, financial or otherwise. It became easily one of the most difficult and demanding, but also one of the most groundbreaking projects we had ever done.
Hi, Sweden.
Athene's Sharecraft project is the most ambitious charity event in the history of esports.
With the live streaming and with how things have been evolving, basically almost all donations have been coming from you guys. This entire event has been carried by the shoulders of our community. I've just been thinking, like, what can we do in order to spread awareness around this matter? What can I do? I've done research, and it's gonna be done in a very responsible way. I'm gonna go on hunger strike.
Athene, if you end up watching this, just be careful, man.
I'm a lot weaker. You're easily affected by emotions and stuff. This is my 5th day today. We actually got international media with my hunger strike, with all the people also joining, contacting press. I want to do a big shout out to everyone that's been helping out. It really makes me smile to see everybody coming together.
Athene stepped up to really create a massive project like this.
He's already more than $300,000 there.
This is what you guys have raised the past 80 days. Almost $1 million for children facing the worst hunger crisis in 60 years. If we hit the $1 million, I want you guys to go crazy.
We've hit it!
We've hit it?
We've hit $1 million!
We've hit $1 million! We've hit $1 million! Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
During this time, Riot Games updated League of Legends with Athene's Unholy Grail, an in-game item named after Athene because of the amount of referrals he brought to the game. Sharecraft had taken its toll and we were exhausted, but now we had a strong sense of direction and continued our efforts to not only raise funds, but also to give insight into the issues and what can be done by documenting our visits to the programs in the field.
Moi, c'est le Major Georges Arbi, commandant de brigade gendarmerie de Djema.
Major Georges Arbi. I'm Athene, best gamer in the world. I thought it would be a cool idea to give them the possibility to do a Reddit AMA. This takes like the satellite connection through this.
Alright, we got it live, guys.
We moved our live stream to Twitch as Zone3D was shutting down, and we set up a unique agreement. We would never make 1 cent from our Twitch ads or even subscribers. And with full transparency, Twitch coordinated with Save the Children directly to make sure all subscriber revenue is donated to them and specifically goes to the highly effective programs that we agree upon. We also launched the first version of Gaming for Good, a simple and sort of never-ending Humble Bundle-like website where developers would allow us to distribute keys to their games in return for donations directly to charity, with no cut going to anyone else. With this additional tool at our disposal, we continued to hit milestone after milestone as we pulled off one crazy stunt after another. And we did several events in collaboration with game developers such as Blizzard and Hi-Rez Studios. The main driver of donations remained our wacky livestream rather than game keys, but some of the events we did involved an entire lineup of additional streamers and personalities to help fundraise, of which in 2013 CivHD did by far the most. By the end of 2013, we were mind blown at the fact that we were about to hit a total of $10 million raised, leading to the story of Gaming for Good going mainstream.
You have raised, in concert with Razer, $9.4 million for Save the Children. That is a lot of money.
Gaming for Good, it's called. You're literally helping save children in Malawi, also Indonesia, Bangladesh.
It is pretty well known that on the internet, nasty things can happen when you stop making the content that your audience loves.
All of the content that he's involved in is fucking garbage. He's literally just runs around fundraising.
In our case, the repercussions became very serious over time. And it started with some people making posts about our charity efforts being a scam.
There's a chance that he just got to scrape off like 1% off the top or something of the millions of dollars, right?
I feel like there's some scraping going on, but I feel kind of bad saying that because I'm saying that with no evidence.
It seemed to have no effect to repeatedly show evidence or go to extreme lengths to ensure transparency. Nor did it seem to matter that there was never any hint of proof of us actually getting any benefits from our charity work whatsoever. Slowly but surely, among some people, a narrative was being constructed. Athene is a toxic scumbag who ruins games for everyone and tricks people into donating to his fundraising scams. Never mind that Athene to this day barely ever did anything in games that would even affect other players at all, and never portrayed his in-game achievements, most of which are real and some obvious jokes, as anything to be taken serious. None of this seemed to matter, because Athene had stopped making funny videos, and his charity work was boring. This laid the groundwork for false allegations that one day reached a tipping point where they convinced even YouTube and Twitch to ban us. But back in 2013, we thought these accusations were too ridiculous to ever have any significant consequences, and we had bigger fish to fry. We were making a real difference, and none of this was going to stop us.
You coming talking shit about me? Talking smack? Hate it. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it. You get it. This shit is legit. You guys talking shit? Talking smack? Them kids got something to say to you. We're changing lives. You ain't changing shit. We saving them lives. You You ain't changing shit. This is for them kids, yo. What you say now? You jelly. This ain't legit. This is legit. Coming here hating, talking shit about me, saying I'm stealing your money. I got someone here from Save the Children. I ain't taking anything.
Doesn't take anything.
You jelly. Where you at, jellyators? Where you at? On the LOL forums. Where am I? In the jungle. You jelly. You just on the PC talking smack cause you jelly. They're laughing at you. You jelly. They're laughing at you in your face. Where you at now?
We continued to fundraise with live streams from Ethiopia and videos from Indonesia. Other highlights from 2013 to 2015 include Athene's TED Talk, our massive and unique Minecraft experiment MC Next, and the first Athene documentary. But during this period, one humanitarian crisis shocked the world: the Ebola outbreak in West Africa. And while it dominated the news, a lot of it was focused on sensational headlines that mainly sparked fear.
Is the U.S. really prepared for an outbreak?
ISIS of biological agents. Just shut down the flights and secure the borders.
Little was being done to raise awareness in ways that inspired empathy and support. We decided to do our part. Liberia was one of the areas where the death toll was highest. This is where we would go to document the crisis, with very elaborate security measures and careful preparation.
The only areas where Ebola is still really present right now in Liberia is actually where we are in Monrovia.
I saw that they shoot people that try to cross the border.
Yeah, because we have a lot of movement still of refugees and a lot of gangs in the area. We have anti-government groups operating in the area. Obviously, Ebola outbreak has been significantly affecting operations.
So let's say someone goes to the bathroom and has Ebola. You go to the bathroom afterwards. Like, do you have a chance of catching Ebola then?
Yeah, small chance. You would have a small chance. It is important to get patients with Ebola into proper treatment facilities. This has been a disease that's had a very major impact on the people living in these three most affected countries.
The result was a full-length documentary. It was widely reported on and enabled us to raise $100,000 for Save the Children's efforts.
Right now there is a patient coming in and we're not allowed to shoot anything, but we will shoot like the way they are taking precautions and putting their suits on. But because of the stigmatization, we're not allowed to shoot even the car that comes in and drives him in.
Our Tyvek overalls. We wear 3 pairs of gloves, 1 nitrile and 2 surgical. We wear a mask, we wear an apron, and we wear a hood and goggles, so no skin is exposed. This protocol is that we don't allow any skin to be exposed just in case of any splash. Almost all the gear that we use for PPE will be incinerated afterwards. Only a few things are washed and reused, such as aprons, goggles, our boots and scraps. So then whenever we are ready, whenever we are completely dressed, we have our safety monitors, making sure that we are doing and following the right steps. We'll go in and maybe in like 15-20 minutes we'll come out, okay? Just going to admit the patient and assess him and all. Okay? Thanks.
When we came back from all the US media appearances for the documentary, that's when our group started to grow. Athene's new podcast resonated with a lot of people who wanted to help out, and thus we added a volunteer application process. We began work on a massive new version of Gaming for Good. And with a growing team of now around 10 people, our little apartment was no longer sufficient as a makeshift headquarters. Once in our new location in Germany, the team continued to expand.
I basically quit my banking job and then came here.
Before I came over here, I studied nanostructure science.
We've grown so much. I mean, we come from Belgium with like a really small room.
A year ago, I was in a tiny apartment with only Reese, Athene, Tanya, and then Ricardo.
My skepticism was like washed away when I was there. The feeling you have is when you want to make a difference and you work together with those guys, I mean, you just make a difference. There's no bullshit.
Gaming for Good was reborn as a hybrid donation platform for streamers as well as for charity. Its first big milestone was our Avengers event, where this time, by far, the star of the show was Zerator and his team. Gaming for Good was taking the live streaming landscape by a storm, and our fundraising events remained a success, even when we fundraised not for charity but for ourselves, so that we could pay for our new location. We were on a course of becoming an ever larger and more capable team of activists. Our philanthropy even landed Athene an invitation to speak at the United Nations. So how does a philanthropist who gets invited to talk at the UN get banned on Twitch and YouTube without any specific instance of clear wrongdoing?
This guy is super shady.
He has been streaming constantly to promote this pyramid scheme Ponzi.
I'm not saying Athene is going to end up like a suicide cult.
Talk about Athene. I love shitting on Athene. It's so much fun.
Okay, go ahead.
He has a massive piece of shit scumbag fucker.
Okay. Fuck it. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
That's always how it is. Human nature. People always want to, up the ante. More. So if somebody gets wind of somebody doing something absolutely terrible, they're probably just going to make a video about it and potentially damage this person's entire fucking reputation on something that could have been a lie. There are tons of exposed videos that go out and they're fucking lies. It's not even true.
Clickbait has existed for about as long as the internet has been around. But in the past years, every corner of the web, from Reddit to Facebook, and from NBC to BuzzFeed, has been affected by an escalation in these regards, with results like the Boston Bomber witch hunt and Pizzagate, that sometimes have serious real-life consequences.
The problem really is that the main one, I think, is that it creates a monetary incentive to create more fucking exposed content. You guys ever notice, if you go and you look at these exposed videos, they all have ads on them? What do you think, this guy's doing it because he's some noble fucking Batman? No, he wants money and credibility and recognition. That's what they want. They don't care about the person. They don't care about the idea. That's why these clowns are making videos on YouTube and not talking to the fucking police. The last thing that they're doing it for is because they're trying to be a good person. So these videos and the success of the videos breeds more of them.
Even with our relevance fading, making controversial statements about Athene and what he's been up to continue to be something that draws a lot of viewers and attention. Knowing that our transparency and factual responses don't tend to make much difference, most of our reactions to these kinds of occurrences were satirical, which made it simultaneously hilarious and shocking when our over-the-top satirical responses then got used as evidence of us really being an evil cult with nefarious schemes. And in 2019, it got us banned from fundraising for Save the Children. Although we had faced many obstacles before and were well aware of how controversial Athene was, we had never imagined that our unconditional philanthropic efforts would become the target. The relationship we had actively built with Save the Children over the past decade had made us highly efficient at having the biggest impact we possibly could. We were able to raise funds for the most effective child and newborn survival programs, and by doing so unlock matching grants for these programs from governments and corporations. It was heartbreaking to see Save the Children be forced to shut all of this down due to the pressure that was put on them after another viral Athene hit piece. They received tweets and emails from viewers who were planning to urge their biggest partners such as Disney, Sony and Starbucks to stop supporting Save the Children. It left them little choice but to cut ties and even tell us we were no longer allowed to fundraise for them. We had long come to understand that it is wildly profitable for influencers to capitalize on YouTuber drama, be it real or fabricated. But for those who followed it closely, it was hard seeing that instead of fighting it, we were taking the punches, as we had already realized we could only accept the cancellation of our charity efforts. The damage was done, and any response from our end could not compete with the virality of these sensational videos. We had learned and grown immensely throughout our journey, and we realized that while this was the end of this chapter, it was also the start of a new one where our efforts would extend to getting involved on the ground ourselves, starting our own programs and inventing new ways in which we could be as effective as possible, but now independently of large donors or matching corporations and governments. Our projects have always been focused on raising awareness, challenging individuals to think for themselves, and inspiring a more proactive lifestyle. This has largely been why, over the past few years, more than 250 volunteers have been a part of the group, and we are now a highly competent core team with more than 40 people. With such a large and capable operation, it was only natural we would start working on a new project that would drastically amplify the impact we had thus far. But the internet had changed, and the time where great TED Talks went viral and charity projects would often galvanize massive communities had kind of passed. Everything, including gaming, also became more mobile-oriented, and whether you liked them or hated them, casual games with in-app purchases began to crush even the biggest AAA releases in terms of revenue. That is why, a year and a half ago, the team started working on Athene's next ambitious project that would aim to become a top-earning mobile game, as well as establish a new and much more high-profile platform for our charity fundraising, and reinvent gaming for good. That project became a strange little game called Clash of Streamers. There are similarities to other popular mobile games, but rather than collecting, for example, Final Fantasy heroes, the characters you collect are actually Twitch streamers. There is even blockchain integration that allows players to export their progress and trade these characters independently of our servers. This makes use of our own custom blockchain tokens, which were distributed but never sold, and despite some claims that they were going to be a scam, are actually fully operational and integrated as a core feature in the game. At first glance, this may all sound overly complicated or technical, but the game has already become a reality, and so has our next project, which is even far more ambitious. Because when it comes to how our game integrates crypto, it is merely a proof of concept for an endeavor of a much larger scope. Our Doobie blockchain token, or decentralized universal basic income technology, will serve as the foundation for basic income pilot programs in developing regions this year. Through all the blowback and obstacles that we've had to face, we have learned that the world is a shithole, in a state of demented late-stage capitalism, which we will exploit with a shameless cash grab that we will use to build and fund stuff that actually matters. So go ahead and download this trash already.